Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Anna Montemurno. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make low-carb, gluten-free Italian meatballs. Come on, let's get into it. So what you want to do is get about 2 tablespoons of avocado oil for a small frying pan like this. Get it nice and heated up. I have here just about 1 cup of sweet onions. Put that in. Give it a little more heat. Fresh garlic, that goes right in. What we want to do is give this a nice saute, because what we're trying to do here is get all these flavors together. And well, in this case it's avocado oil, sweet onions, and fresh garlic. So we want to get that caramelized as usual. And what we're going to want to do is get it ready for our meatball mixture. So what we're going to add to this is 2 tablespoons of red wine. Ooh, that might have been 3. And give it a good stir as usual. Give it a little heat, get it a little bit, give it some heat and get it nicely caramelized so that the sugars release and the aromatics are fantastic over here. The smell is absolutely wonderful. You feel like you're in Italy. So we're giving that a good saute. And then I'll give it a little bit more heat, getting it going for a little bit longer. Get it nice and caramelized, let's say 3 or 4 minutes in. You're going to take it off the heat and you're going to let it rest. So for this part of the recipe, after you have your onions and garlic sauteed with a little bit of red wine and it rested a little, you're going to want to take it and put it in a little blender. Add a little bit of water to it. And then you're going to want to give it a very good blend here. The whole idea of blending the onions and the garlic is that you are going to make the meatballs free from chunkiness, which either way, I like it both ways, but I have some particular friends mention of who they are, Lori Gervasi and Dominic Amenta. Oh, sorry. So now you have your 2 pounds of ground beef. You have your garlic onion mixture with the red wine. And you have dry ingredients and wet ingredients here. So what we're going to do is first start off with the dry ingredients, and we're going to put in about a half a teaspoon of dry onion powder, and then about a half a teaspoon of red crushed pepper, Italian seasonings, the same, about a half a teaspoon, some crushed black pepper, about a half a teaspoon of that. That's tricky to measure, isn't it? Some pink salt, half a teaspoon of that, and about a half a teaspoon of granulated garlic, And don't forget about a quarter of a cup of fresh grated Pecorino Romano cheese. And now for our wet ingredients. So we have the garlic onion mixture. We have 2 whole eggs. And I'm going to add in probably a quarter of a cup of just regular old-fashioned water. Okay, I almost made a blooper. This is the breadcrumb substitute that in a normal recipe you would use breadcrumbs, but I use milled flaxseed, which simply means that they're ground up. So we're going to put in probably about a quarter of a cup. Quarter of a cup, yeah, that's about right. And so now what you want to do is mix this mixture up just like you would do a meatloaf. So after you get your meatball mixture mixed up, you're going to want to form little meatballs, probably 2 to 3 ounces each. I have about 2 dozen meatballs made from 2 pounds of ground beef. So after you do that, of course, you want to put them on a cookie sheet. What I did was I layered a cookie sheet with aluminum foil and some cooking spray, and then I put the meatballs on top of there. And now we're ready for this bad boy to go in the oven. I have the oven set up at 425. Pop it right in the oven and give it about 25 minutes or so. We'll see what happens. So after you got your meatballs out of the oven, this is what they look like. They look pretty good, right? So what ended up happening is I had initially had the temperature at 425 for 25 minutes. It needed a little more time, so I upped the time and gave it 10 more minutes and upped the temperature. So I ended up cooking it for another 10 minutes at 450. And this is the result. So your meatballs are a little bit darker and more well done. And what you could do is you could actually take these meatballs as they are out of the oven, give it a minute or two to kind of cool down, and you could actually pop them in your homemade sauce if you're making sauce, which I already made sauce incidentally today. But actually, in the previous video, you'll see that there is a video that shows you how to make homemade, delicious, wonderful low carbohydrate, as low as you can get it. But anyway, these meatballs are gluten-free, low carbohydrate. I'll put the macro breakdown in the description down below the video, along with the ingredients, so you have it on hand if you'd like to make the recipe yourself. I encourage you to do it. Carbohydrate and gluten-free meatballs. They're keto-friendly, paleo-friendly. That's it. Over and out. Ciao for now. And I'll see you in the next video.